Today I want to talk about electric trucks. I know that a lot of people think that the words electric and the word truck uh, put together makes up for a bad formula. And I guess in some cases it does if you're, used to driving a Super Duty or, towing 90,000 pounds every day to and from the grocery store. I mean, I suppose an electric truck would not work for that. I mean, it might for a little while, but not for every day. So, 99% of truck owners don't drive Super Duties. They don't haul 90,000 pounds to the grocery store. They use their truck as needed for a truck, but they're also, just kind of doing whatever. Using it as their daily commuter. Maybe you got to go to work. You got to go pick up the kids. You got to go do your errands. Whatever it is you're doing. So I want to go over, and I've only picked four. I know that there's more than four. Chevrolet has like four alone, or GM, not Chevrolet. The Hummer EV, the GMC Sierra, the Chevrolet Silverado. I mean, I don't even know what all they've got. In my opinion, I think the GMC Sierra, which I've got that pulled up over here, is the nicest electric truck on the market today in GM's offering. If I were going to buy one, this would be the one I would buy. Now, technically, let's just go ahead and pull it up because I know other people are going to yell at me for this one. Chevrolet. Technically, I guess if you're just the average man buying a truck, you probably would look at the Silverado EV over the GMC Sierra EV because they tend to be a little cheaper. Not much, as you can see from here, but they tend to be a little okay, they start at 53 here. Okay. So I guess you've got a point. So we'll leave that one too. I'm going to put it up here in order. It's not any particular order, but this is somewhat of an order. So when I think about me looking at trucks, talking about trucks, I'm techie. I like the tech trucks. I like the next big thing. And that's why I drive a Cybertruck. I feel like the Cybertruck is the next big thing. It's the techie truck on the market today. I mean, that's what it is, It's out there. It's not common and normal. And so realistically, what would I buy if I wasn't me? Like if I was my dad, for example, who still doesn't drive electric, he's probably not going to, but if he did, what would he buy? It wouldn't be the Cybertruck. I'm going to tell you that. So I wanted to look at trucks tonight and talk about what are some good options on the market today in a very reasonable price range that my dad might buy. So the Rivian R1T, let's start with this one. I like the Rivian R1T. I think it's a solid choice for a truck. But my dad's a practical kind of guy, and this is not practical. I can tell you what his complaints are going to be right away. Number one, it's small. Number two, this entire piece here, going all the way back, is one piece. The bed is a part of the cab and there's no separation piece. It's not a truck. If this back here gets damaged, you got to replace all of this up through here because this is all attached. That makes it not practical. That makes it more expensive to fix. That makes it not something he'd be interested in. Plus $54,000 is kind of on the high side. I mean, when you're talking about the average man looking for a truck, the number one reason they say they won't buy electric because they're so expensive, which I guess I talked myself out of the GMC Sierra EV because right now they're so new. There's not any used ones on the market within 250 miles. Let's do nationwide. Are there any used ones on the market? There are not. So price wise, the cheapest one you can get today is $87,000. It's brand new, and that's it. And there's not a used option. I'll actually go up here. I mean, I know I'm doing it the easy way, but if I hit used, okay. But they're more expensive than new ones. So go figure. So I can see why the average guy would not want to buy that one. So let's go back over here to the Silverado. Now, as you noticed, the top two tabs that we have left to choose from here are Silverado by Chevrolet and F-150 Lightning by Ford. And really, this is going to come down to preference, brand preference. Everyone has their brand preference. You grew up, your dad drove a insert truck here, and it's been instilled in your brain your entire life that insert brand here is better. And my dad has always drove Fords. His dad drove Fords. Everybody I know down the line drives Fords. So my dad would be leaning toward the Fords. But we're going to give Chevrolet a chance here. Here's a brand new Silverado EV. I'm sure it's not like a high trim level. It's probably the work truck. I mean, it is a WT, which probably means work truck, for $53,000. That's pretty good for a brand new truck. It's even got Steelies, so, you know, it's a work truck. That's the exact truck my dad would buy. I would never drive that trim level, but that's the exact truck he would buy. It'd just be like, yep, I need one with wheels and it goes. I don't care about anything else. That's how he shops for trucks. So $53,000-ish in the Chevrolet sector, but my dad wouldn't buy a Chevrolet. I know he wouldn't drive a Chevrolet, but if this is what your dad's into, right there it is. $53,000. That's decent. The reason that I wanted to bring this up, and these also really haven't been out long enough to have a used market that are cheaper than the news. So, not a lot to choose from here. The reason that I've went this far with all this is because Ford has been out for a couple of years, and they do have a used market. And quite honestly, that's probably the truck my dad would buy right there. And $31,000, that's a deal. So, I guess really my point that I was driving here is that Ford has been out. I mean, yeah, Rivian had some used ones too, but they weren't in the 30,000 range. Ford has been out long enough. They make a decent enough truck to where you could go get one for $30,000 and have a decent electric truck. Now, obviously, these cheaper ones are not going to have the extended range battery, so that's something you're going to have to deal with. And honestly, I don't really think they're worth it without the extended range battery. The Lariat is kind of what I try to push my dad into when he looks for a truck, because, you know, it's a decent trim level. I mean, he would take the XLT if he could get away with it. This is a decent trim level, and you know, it's not got everything, but I was looking, they don't really mention if it's an extended range battery here. I'm guessing at 231 miles of range, it is not the extended range battery. And that's the thing here, you know, this is such a new technology, a new thing, that I don't think they even have that option here on Cars.com to say, I only want the extended range battery. You only get to choose your trim levels. So I think that's an important point to drive home is, you know, if you're going to go this route and get a cheap F-150 Lightning, because they tend to be the cheapest electric truck on the market today, go the extra length and get the extended range battery. I mean, this one looks freaking nice. I love that color. But 230 miles of range here on that. So we know that's not an extended range battery. And you may have to step it up into, you know, because really with these trucks, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that battery. And you want to buy the biggest battery you can afford. This is the color. Funny story. I ordered platinum in this color back in 2021. Loved this color. That was all about me. I loved that color. And when it arrived at the dealer wanted $20,000 markup, and I walked. So, don't know who ended up with that truck, but and then I ended up getting this color. Now the great thing is, at $45,000, because I'm not going to click and go through every single one of these, but at 45,000 in the platinum trim level, platinums all come with the extended range battery. And as you'll see here, 300 miles EPA range. So there's not a platinum on the road today that has the standard range battery. So that's your easy way out of saying I don't have to determine. But my dad's not going to go spend money on a platinum. 45 is out of his, I'm not buying that. I'm not going to spend that. I could get a new truck right now for 20, that would be his argument. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to think like in the mindset of the average guy who's not into all the tech, doesn't care about electric, whatever, gas, whatever. At the end of the day, an electric truck can do all the things that you want it to do, towing, etc. But it's a great daily driver. It's a grocery getter. It's your go to work truck, your whatever. And the amount that you spend in most states, I just learned that California is very expensive with their electricity, but in most states, the amount of money that you would spend on electricity, you would save, like it would cost you 4 times as much to do the same distance with gas than it would electric. So honestly, I don't know why more people haven't at this point switched to electric. I find it pretty interesting. This is a really nice looking truck, by the way. I like this color. I already said that once, but I just want to, I find it very interesting that you can get a truck that looks this good and still be standard range. And there's really no indication here that tells you, are they standard? Are they extended? Nothing. So I guess, you could click and go through every single one of them and see if it's a standard or extended. Or you could just take the easy way out. This one doesn't even actually say your EPA range on it, so that's cool. You could just take the easy way out and say, we know for a fact platinum always has extended range battery, and they're still, they're comparable. Here's brand, there's not brand new, 15,000 miles, Lariat 42.9. You come down here to the platinum that I was just looking at 45.9. For a few thousand extra dollars, why wouldn't you want this nice trimmed truck? I'm kind of wondering if this one, for example, will be extended range because it's slightly higher price than the others and it looks about the same. So 320 miles. So yeah, this is an extended range XLT. But again, 15,000 miles, how many did this one have? 26. So I guess for 10,000 more miles, but it's cheaper, you could have a platinum. This looks almost like the one I had, but honestly, mine had the power running boards, which I think was, that's for me, that's a big deal for me, but for you, it might not be a big deal. I do know that my dad had drove my platinum and he really liked it, and he had made mention of possibly buying it when I sold it, but I guess I was looking to get the most I possibly could out of it, and Carvana came up and offered a pretty decent amount, so I just sold it to them. And now look, here's one pretty much exactly what I had. I had a 22. I don't remember how many miles it had, probably 20,000 or so. And yeah, that's way cheaper than what I got for mine 4 months ago. So this vehicle is not for sale. Okay, then why is it on here? No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah. If I were going to buy a truck and I didn't care about the tech and all the stuff that I'm into, it would probably be a Lightning. They're pretty solid trucks. They can do truck things. I'm not really worried about, all that. But at the same time, you save a bunch of money driving it. Electricity's cheap. This one's an extended range. So yeah. If it were me, and I was buying a truck, I would either take the GMC Sierra or the Lightning, or I mean the Cybertruck. And the thing is, the reason I like those more is because techie stuff about them. The average Joe doesn't worry about, stats while charging. The average Joe doesn't worry about half the things I worry about because I'm more of a tech person. But right now, the benefits that the Cybertruck and the GMC Sierra EV have are that their charging speeds are so much faster than something like the Lightning or even the Rivian. The Lightning is actually the slowest charging of the trucks on the market today. And I mean, if you go from 0 to 80 or 90%, you're looking at an hour of just sitting there charging. Now, normal people don't charge like that, but with the Lightning, it has a pretty flat charging curve that it will hold its speed up to about 80%, and then, you're good to go. But the speed isn't very fast. It's actually the slowest of all EV trucks on the market today. But, if you're the average guy out here just looking for a truck, you're probably not looking for a truck that you're going to travel in long distance all the time. And the Lightning would be that truck. Normal people, they use their trucks for going to work, and they use their trucks to go hunting, and they go to the grocery store a couple times a week. And, all around here, the average person could plug their truck in once a week and be fine. And just drive it and not have to worry about it. And I think the Lightning is one of the closest trucks to where you could just drive it and not have to worry about it. You get in it and you push the button just like you would any other Ford. It's got the push to start. There's nothing different here. You just jump in and drive. And Ford has done that. They've figured that part out. So, for the average consumer, this is where it's at right here, I think. And I still like Ford. I like them a lot. I'm really liking my Cybertruck, but I think the Cybertruck is just too far out there for some people, and they don't want to drive, a spaceship. They want to drive a normal truck. And Ford did so good about that you see a Lightning going down the road and you don't initially think that it's an electric truck. You just think it's a Ford. And as it passes, you're like, oh yeah, that was a Lightning. By the time it's already gone, you don't even think nothing about it. There's no question about it when you see, like the GMC Sierra or the Cybertruck. That this is completely new. They don't make anything that looks like this that's not electric. And with Ford, they do. So I think it's a solid truck. And if I needed just an average Joe everyday truck, this is the one I would go for. Not this particular one, but something like this for sure. Any one of the Fords. Another thing that you can think about as far as like, if you're, because this is something I think about, but maybe others don't. Warranty, and I don't know if they actually have warranty on here. Let's see, warranty. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't really say anything about warranty, but you can pull up this one's actually been in an accident. So there you go. Reacquired by the manufacturer. Okay, well, so maybe I wouldn't buy this one. But another factor that you can look at are your warranty. So, does Ford say what the warranty is on these? There's your crash test. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's important to note that not all companies are the same. And I was looking at a GMC Sierra EV earlier before making this video, and I noticed that they don't provide a battery and drive unit warranty like Tesla does. So Tesla covers the battery and the motors up to 150,000 miles on the Cybertruck. In the GMC Sierra, they cover the battery up to 100,000 miles, but the drive units are only covered up to 60,000 miles. And I'm pretty sure Ford does similar, where it's 60,000 miles for the bumper to bumper, but they still do 100,000 for the motors and the battery. So I don't know why GMC would split that. That's kind of concerning, you know. I would not. I don't know. The thing is, you never know when things will fail, and I'm sure it'd be no different than a gas car engine going out, and you have to pay for an engine. But I like to have that security of the warranty to back it up in case something does go wrong. And then, you know, if a regular gas car's engine fails, but it's under warranty, it doesn't cost you anything. But when you're out of that warranty period, that's when it could get very pricey to fix anything. So I like having that extra little piece of warranty, peace of mind, you know, to know. Damage to right side. I mean, that's probably not bad. Why was it bought back? Does anyone know that one? I don't know if it tells you. Registered as a commercial vehicle. I'm getting sidetracked. Maybe the wipers were bad. They replaced the wipers and bought it back. I don't know. Maybe it was bought back with this one. Oh, here we go. Battery health update. So maybe there's a problem with the battery, but you know, if they replace the battery, if they can show proof that they replaced the battery, you got a brand new truck, really. Drive belts. So yeah, I don't know. I'd still give it a chance. I'd go look at it. I mean, you're already at a pretty decent price. We get them down another 10,000. I'll take it home. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think Ford's where it's at. If you're in the market for an electric truck, that's probably the route that I would go. You know, obviously, I think there are better options out there, but the average person doesn't want to spend 100 grand on a truck. And if you're looking to get into an electric truck on the cheap, but still have a solid truck, Ford's where it's at. And I think the next best contender would be the Rivian R1T. They're not quite as cheap, but they're still a very solid truck. And they're really expensive to fix if you break them, you know, like physical damage wise. But as long as you're not careless and you take care of the truck, then you're never going to have that problem. So Rivian's a lot smaller than the Lightning, so I guess it really depends on what your needs are. But yeah, my top two trucks, if it weren't a Cybertruck, would be the Lightning and then the Rivian. And if you want to learn any more information about trucks, check out Out of Spec, because they did a coast to coast race between all of the electric trucks on the market today. It was more about charging than anything, but you learn some different things throughout the progress with the different teams and different trucks. F-150 Lightning came in dead last just because it doesn't charge very fast and the BMS does not work very well. Ford is not good in the software aspect, but you know, if you're not a tech guy, you don't really care about software. So I think the Rivian came in third, so right in front of the Ford. Well, actually not right in front of, like a day ahead of the Ford, but that's a different story for a different time. But anyway, that's my breakdown of the electric trucks and where I think you should be if you're looking for one and you don't care about all the new tech stuff, which is probably exactly where my dad's at in this sector.